And take thou unto thee Aaron thy brother and his sons with him from among the children of Israel, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron thy brother, for glory and for beauty. And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate, and an ephod, and a robe, and a broidered coat, a mitre, and a girdle. And they shall make holy garments for Aaron thy brother and his sons, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And they shall make the ephod of gold, of blue, and of purple, of scarlet, and fine twined linen with cunning work. It shall have the 2 shoulder pieces thereof joined at the 2 edges thereof, and so it shall be joined together. And the curious girdle of the ephod which is upon it shall be of the same, according to the work thereof, even of gold, of blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. And thou shalt take 2 onyx stones, and grave on them the names of the children of Israel, 6 of their names on one stone, and the other 6 names of the rest on the other stone, according to their birth. With the work of an engraver in stone, like the engravings of a signet, shalt thou engrave the 2 stones with the names of the children of Israel. Thou shalt make them to be set in ouches of gold. And thou shalt put the 2 stones upon the shoulders of the ephod for stones of memorial unto the children of Israel. And Aaron shall bear their names before the Lord upon his 2 shoulders for a memorial. And thou shalt make ouches of gold, and 2 chains of pure gold at the ends. Of wreathen work shalt thou make them, and fasten the wreathen chains to the ouches. And thou shalt make the breastplate of judgment with cunning work. After the work of the ephod thou shalt make it, of gold, of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, and of fine twined linen shalt thou make it. 4 square it shall be, being doubled. A span shall be the length thereof, and a span shall be the breadth thereof. And thou shalt set in it settings of stones, even 4 rows of stones. The first row shall be a sardius, a topaz, and a carbuncle. This shall be the first row. And the second row shall be an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row a ligure, an agate, and an amethyst. And the 4th row a beryl, and an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be set in gold in their enclosings. And the stones shall be with the names of the children of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engravings of a signet. Every one with his name shall they be, according to the 12 tribes. And thou shalt make upon the breastplate chains at the ends of wreathen work of pure gold. And thou shalt make upon the breastplate 2 rings of gold, and shalt put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. And thou shalt put the 2 wreathen chains of gold in the 2 rings which are on the ends of the breastplate. And the other 2 ends of the 2 wreathen chains thou shalt fasten in the 2 ouches, and put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod before it. And thou shalt make 2 rings of gold, and thou shalt put them upon the 2 ends of the breastplate in the border thereof, which is in the side of the ephod inward. And 2 other rings of gold thou shalt make, and shalt put them on the 2 sides of the ephod underneath, toward the forepart thereof, over against the other coupling thereof, above the curious girdle of the ephod. And they shall bind the breastplate by the rings thereof unto the rings of the ephod with a lace of blue, that it may be above the curious girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplate be not loosed from the ephod. And Aaron shall bear the names of the children of Israel in the breastplate of judgment upon his heart, when he goeth in unto the holy place, for a memorial before the Lord continually. And thou shalt put in the breastplate of judgment the Urim and the Thummim, and they shall be upon Aaron's heart when he goeth in before the Lord. And Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel upon his heart before the Lord continually. And thou shalt make the robe of the ephod all of blue, and there shall be an hole in the top of it in the midst thereof. It shall have a binding of woven work round about the hole of it, as it were the hole of an habergeon, that it be not rent. And beneath upon the hem of it thou shalt make pomegranates of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet round about the hem thereof, and bells of gold between them round about, a golden bell and a pomegranate, a golden bell and a pomegranate upon the hem of the robe round about. And it shall be upon Aaron to minister, and his sound shall be heard when he goeth in unto the holy place before the Lord, and when he cometh out, that he die not. And thou shalt make a plate of pure gold, and grave upon it, like the engravings of a signet, Holiness to the Lord. And thou shalt put it on a blue lace, that it may be upon the mitre, upon the forefront of the mitre it shall be. And it shall be upon Aaron's forehead, that Aaron may bear the iniquity of the holy things which the children of Israel shall hallow in all their holy gifts. And it shall be always upon his forehead, that they may be accepted before the Lord. And thou shalt embroider the coat of fine linen, and thou shalt make the mitre of fine linen, and thou shalt make the girdle of needlework. And for Aaron's sons thou shalt make coats, and thou shalt make for them girdles, and bonnets shalt thou make for them, for glory and for beauty. And thou shalt put them upon Aaron thy brother and his sons with him, and shalt anoint them, and consecrate them, and sanctify them, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. And thou shalt make them linen breeches to cover their nakedness. From the loins even unto the thighs they shall reach. And they shall be upon Aaron and upon his sons, when they come in unto the tabernacle of the congregation, or when they come near unto the altar to minister in the holy place, that they bear not iniquity and die. It shall be a statute forever unto him and his seed after him.
The video was quite good in mentioning everything. And I say to you, why do we study the Old Testament? Why do we study the high priest? Why do we study the tabernacle in the wilderness? First of all, God wrote it. It's important. It's in there for a reason. But it foreshadows the redemptive work of Christ. Everything that Christ was going to do, it was portrayed in that. And he wanted to put it in the senses as of the Jewish people, that they would act it out every day, that they wouldn't forget. Your Messiah is coming. Your Messiah is coming. Let's see. That's what. One thing I failed to mention here about the incense, it represents prayer. And if from Isaiah 56, David said, my house will be housed, not that one, excuse me, I'm a little bit hot. It says, may my prayers be set before you like incense. So incense represents our prayers going up to God. And it also says in Isaiah, my house will be called a house of prayer for all nations. My house, God's house, will be a house of prayer for all nations. And it's also in Revelation. It says another angel who had a golden censer. A censer is one of these on chains, you know, where they swing, and there's incense inside. That's called a censer. The angel came and stood at the altar. He was given much incense to offer with the prayers of the saints. The smoke of the incense, together with the prayers of the saints, went up before God from the angel's hand. Okay, now, last but not least. Okay, we'll start with this turban. Now this is a high priest outfit, not the priest. The priest basically just wore white. They also had a white turban, the priest, but it was more a little bit cone-shaped, and it was material wrapped around. The high priest had this look. The high priest is, we can see you better, huh? You want to stand up here? No? Okay, then you will come out here. We can see you better. The high priest is the only one that has blue. We talked about blue and how important, and it just represents God, you know, heavenly origin. He had this particular robe was totally in blue. He has it here too, and here would be a gold plate that says "Holy unto the Lord." This is the breastplate of judgment. It's called the breastplate of judgment. And the reason being is this particular plate is on woven material like you saw of blue, purple, and red. This one doesn't have it. And it's folded. It's about 9 inches, but it's really 18 long. They fold it in half. It makes a pocket in the back. And in the pocket in the back, we can get at it. Pretend this is a pocket. The high priest carried 2 stones. I don't know if I can get them out. But it's called, there's 2 stones in here. They think they were black, and one was black and one was white. What they would use this for, hold on, coming out. It was kind of like a lot. You know what that means? Like it's when they needed an answer from God. And this is in the Bible. God said you're going to put 2 stones called the Urim and the Thummim. And let's say the king wanted to know, well, should we go to battle? As one question. They would take these 2 stones out, and somehow God would answer them through these 2 stones. I don't know how. It's not recorded. They have some theories that the names of the 12 tribes, the letters lit up. You know, and it would spell out, yes, go to war, or do this, or do that. But this is in the Bible. God wanted this. He ordained this. Now we have the Holy Spirit. In those days, the Holy Spirit came upon people like prophets, you know, when it was needed. But now the Holy Spirit is in us. So this would be the Urim and the Thummim, which would be behind in that pocket. And then we have the 12 tribes of Israel. 4 rows, 3 there. Can you read them? Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Naphtali, Issachar, Asher, Dan, Zebulun, Gad, Benjamin, and Judah. 1 left. Anybody? Joseph. Now don't be impressed that I knew these. It took me a long time to learn them. I learned it through a song. So I kind of challenge the children in the next month maybe that you could memorize all the tribes according to when they were their age. But I learned it through a song, and that makes it so much easier that way. Now the high priest had 2 of these on his shoulders. Again, they think it was black onyx stones, and it had also the names of the tribes of Israel. So twice God put the names of the tribes of Israel because God wanted to tell them, I will not forget you. It says in, let's see, there goes the, okay. Be patient, there's a lot in here. Oh, the reason why it was called the breastplate of judgment is because those 2 stones in there, they would judge as to what to do. Go to war, yes or no. Is this man guilty, yes or no? So that's what that was. And all these stones, they were different stones, precious stones, and they all mean something. So that's another study that you can all do. Now, on the bottom, you notice on the bottom of his robe, he has bells and pomegranates. Pomegranates, I'm sure you all know what they look like. It's this fruit. And this is one of the 7 species of Israel. When the spies went into Israel and they checked out the land, God says, I'm sending you to a land that has, you know, grapes, pomegranates, and he named the 7 species. So this is a very important fruit of the land. But why God wanted the pomegranate, they say there's 600, pretty much close to 613 seeds in this pomegranate. 613 is the number of laws. And that would be on the high priest's garment, along with the bells. There were to be gold chains that I would tie to these up here. And I think we pretty much covered everything. So I do have, they have figured out this recipe for the incense They just recently figured out what's in there. This was bought at the Temple Institute in Jerusalem, the ones that are making all the things for the temple, the actual things for the temple. You're welcome afterwards to come open it up and smell it. You can smell cinnamon. That's one thing. I think cloves are in here too. There's also in here frankincense and myrrh, because one of the components in the incense is frankincense. And you know, when the 3 wise men came and offered a gift to Jesus, they offered gold, frankincense, and we have myrrh in here too. So you're welcome to come look at that too.